Okay, what's up, guys? GameFiend127 Games here, and it's Saturday, and it's Roode the Chairman Prescott 65 in the background, and it's time for once again another Drum Scripted Saturday. And I'm gonna do something different this week. I'm gonna start off with TNA since I didn't watch it. I'm just now reading what happened, and long story short, it's a bunch of filler for Bound for Glory. Well, why would you be surprised? Because they're really stretching out this aces and eights thing. From one point, there's a new TV champion. Hulk Hogan put a match against Samoa Joe versus Ken Anderson for the television title, and Samoa Joe won it because Devon decided to leave TNA while he was TV champion, and TNA never did a match for it, like a random squash match to have Devon lose the title. But that's TNA for you. So Devon leaves TNA, still the champion, so Hulk Hogan had to make a match. Mind you, this happened 3 weeks ago that Devon left Impact. So they had to make a match for it, and they finally did it. They did it this week, and that was the match, and Samoa Joe wound up winning. The main event was Bully Ray and Bobby Roode versus Austin Aries and Jeff Hardy. Austin Aries and Jeff Hardy wound up winning. I'm pretty sure that was a good match because it had the 4 top main eventers in their prime currently right now in TNA. I would advise you to YouTube that match if you could find it. And yeah, basically just more aces and eights filler nonsense. Which, yeah, it's better to watch it than me to read it, because reading all this nonsense is very, very confusing. Anyway, moving on to the WWE and Raw. Now, I didn't think that the CM Punk and Paul Heyman thing would actually work, but it's actually working pretty nicely since CM Punk said on Twitter a couple months back that he is a Paul Heyman type of guy, and while Paul Heyman is Paul Heyman, Paul Heyman is very well at the manager role. Like, I think he's, in my opinion, he's one of the top managers in the company right now. He did a great job managing Brock back in 2002 when he first came in, and now when he managed Brock when he came back in 2012. Now he's managing CM Punk and doing a fantastic job. I didn't think it was work because CM Punk could talk for himself, but since they both could talk, it's like it's double the pleasure. The thing what they're doing with John Cena, it's unfortunate that John Cena, you know, he works his ass off, and basically his elbow is in fragments. Like, it's not broken, it's just a lot of chips. It's a lot of pieces of bone that are chipped off and that are floating around in his elbow. But it's pretty bad. Like, there's rumors going out that he might not even... He said it on Raw that he may make it to Hell in a Cell, but doctor-wise that he really might not make it to Hell in a Cell. And WWE may gonna have to do a BS storyline to replace John Cena at Hell in a Cell. But this is what happens when you work your main guy a lot. Like, he gets injured a lot. Like, perfect example, Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan's back has had so many surgeries that I've lost count. He's had more back surgeries than people go to the hospital for just regular checkups. That's how many back surgeries that Hulk Hogan has had due for all the bumps taking and being the #1 guy, working day in and day out for both companies when he was with WCW and when he was with WWE. Because he was the #1 guy on both shows, for both companies. So yeah, it takes a toll on your body when you're the #1 guy. You haven't really seen it take a toll. Well, actually, yes, you have seen it take a toll on Stone Cold. When Stone Cold was well, then again, his neck wasn't his fault. That was more or less Hart's fault. But then again, when it was Stone Cold's time, he kind of shared the #1 spotlight with The Rock. That's why the only thing is Austin has bad knees. But as you can look at The Rock's perfectly fine. But there was really, between the Stone Cold and The Rock, there was really no number one guy there. It was a tie. So they shared the going in day in and day out. There was just no sole number one guy. And again, I think that's another thing that made the Attitude Era better, is because there were two people to root for. There was just no number one. It's like you had the Hogan era with a little bit of Savage on the side, and then you had Stone Cold. Then you had Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, and then you just had, with Bret Hart had his shine, and then it totally switched. Then Shawn Michaels had his shine. That wasn't at the same time. They just had a feud to get to the title, but then when it was Shawn Michaels, it was Shawn Michaels, and it was Bret Hart, it was just Bret Hart. To then going to just, for a good 4 to 5 years, just on an even basis of fans, Stone Cold and The Rock. Yes, with a little Kurt Angle championships in the middle here and there, but that came towards the end. But it was just straight, just Stone Cold and The Rock, and a little bit of Chris Jericho, with Chris Jericho beating the first undisputed champion. But for the main of that era, it was just Stone Cold and The Rock, and you haven't seen that like ever. But yeah, what I like about what WWE is doing is they're actually making a tag division. There's actually a tournament now. Yes, we know at the long run that the finals is going to be the Rhodes Scholars versus Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara, but they actually made a tag division. They made it so much that there's a tournament for it to see who could beat Kofi Kingston and R-Truth for the tag team titles, which is actually good. I actually like it. I actually like WWE is putting an effort and actually building a tag division. Let's see if they, after the tournament's over, let's see if they keep those tag teams together. They keep that there is, a tag division. But now for some undrama scripted news. Like I said before earlier, that John Cena is hurt and had to get surgery on his right elbow. Yeah, his right elbow. Because there's a lot of chip fragments in it, and there's a chance that he may not make it to Hell in a Cell, which is in 3 weeks. So WWE is gonna have to do some scouring to get a replacement for that match if it comes down to it. Other undrawn scripted news: Beth Phoenix is leaving the company. Yes, even though she did win in her hometown of Buffalo. On Smackdown last night, Beth Phoenix is leaving the company. She asked for her release. Kelly got fired. Well, released, but I'm gonna use the unprofessional term and say fired. Finally, because she could go back to playing Barbie in real life. Remember 6 years ago, 6.5 years ago, when she was the exhibitionist on ECW? Yeah, and they had the nerve to turn her into a Divas champion once. Yeah, thank you, WWE. So she's fired. Beth asked for her release. And John Cena may not make it to Hell in a Cell due to he needs emergency surgery on his right elbow. Oh, another news off camera. Alberto Del Rio unmasked Sin Cara due to their beef that goes way back to when they're in wrestling in Mexico against each other, because they really hate each other. There's nothing drama scripted there. But anyway, that's gonna wrap it up for this week's Drama Scripted Saturday. Remember, you'll catch a Drama Scripted Saturday every Saturday. And if you missed last week's Drama Scripted Saturday, I guess you go back and watch it on my channel. And if you're into Yu-Gi-Oh, you can watch my last Yu-Gi-Oh video. There was a box opening of Legend Collection 3. And the next time you'll hear this beautiful voice is on Monday for Mono Monday. And I'm GameFiend127 Games, guys. Signing out. Later, guys. Peace.